ladies and gentlemen, we've obviously had a very interesting scenario happen in the racing world with car owners and drivers. And so the situation at hand, Bubby Kofoid situation, where he's taken over the 55 for Hunter Schuerenberg. Now, obviously, this is a great opportunity. You see Speed Sport here. They really don't say much about Hunter Schuerenberg's side of the situation. Just saying that he was released from the team on Wednesday evening, which makes perfect sense if you're speedsport.com. Now, unfortunately for Speed Sport, there's some other things that were happening in the background. And then you had Casey Schumann, always a breath of fresh air for saying what he feels and what he thinks and giving some inside information publicly. He said, being that Hunter just today received a shipment of merchandise to replace all of what they lost, in the fire, and stocked the trailer for Ohio Speed Weeks, I would say it will affect them more than the team. You know, I've been trying to say to a lot of people that this racing world is a lot like, especially with drivers and teams, and heck, even tracks and series. You build relationships with people. This is a emotionally based sport. Everyone is in it because they love it. Most of the car owners are throwing money out the window to do it because they love it. Most of the drivers are giving their lives away. Literally, they could be off making money doing something else on a beach somewhere, doing this, that, or the other, but they're giving their lives away because they love the sport. And in Hunter's scenario, he had this fire that, was a big hit onto his life. And obviously for years, he had been working together with this partner, this 55 car, trying to make it work. Yeah, I mean, Buddy, obviously, from the outside looking in, looks like the better option, even though Hunter won a race this year at Jacksonville. Buddy's the hot young commodity that everybody wants. I had an argument yesterday with somebody who thinks that Bubby Kofoid should replace David Gravel in the 2 car. So apparently everyone and their mama's looking at Bubby Kofoid as the hottest damn thing in walking down the aisle or walking down the street, and they want to walk him down the aisle. And it makes business sense, I guess, for the team to switch to the hot young thing walking down the street. It don't really matter how much Hunter put into it or how much trust and faith that Hunter had in the team to have his back. Effort means a lot. I mean, like I said, the sport's based on love, so the effort means a lot, man. When somebody's putting in all that they can, like Hunter was doing, and the team seeing all that he lost, and he had the faith and belief that this team was going to be behind him and that they had recently had success, got all this stuff together, got all the merchandise together, and then out of nowhere, they just pick the other side of the street. Now, this ain't mutual. And honestly, I've never really been a huge Hunter Schuerenberg fan. I think he's underperformed, personally. But also, if that's the truth, and this team felt the same damn way, there's different ways of handling it. You don't lead someone on and make them think that y'all are going to be together. It's just not right, man. Obviously, Hunter had the impression that y'all were going to be together for a lot longer than y'all did. And he made the investments and bought the items to make up for any of the issues that y'all had. And obviously for the merchandise and the items that was going to be involved and needed for the upcoming Ohio Speed Week. And on the heels of it, y'all pull this shit. And this relationship here that has ended is good for Hunter overall. Sometimes it's good for these things to happen so that you know who you're in bed with. A lot of drivers and people out here fight and battle this situation all the time. It ain't always consistent as the big money boys in the world of outlaws. So there's a lot of drivers out there that are looking at the situation that occurred with Hunter and now are more than likely worried. Is my car owner doing this to me? Is our recent success not good enough for you? Is the next hot thing that walks down the block just going to kick me out of my race car because they got it in your mind that you're going to do something else and something special? Now, Bubby Kofoid, the girl walking down the street, he's hot right now. And I think more than likely relationships need to matter more than what's hot and what's not. Or at least some transparency. There's no reason that Hunter Schuerenberg should have been getting merchandise for this scenario if this relationship was handled correctly. But most of the time, people are scared to tell the truth. They're scared to let someone know that they did something wrong or aren't performing to the level that they see fit. And this is probably one of the biggest issues in all types of relationships is people are not transparent enough with how they feel. Then if you are too transparent, you're complaining too much, or you're hard to deal with, or you cause too many problems. Even though the transparent person may be just trying to provide the honesty that most people are scared to provide. The check engine light on the dashboard before the motor blows. When you deal with a situation when people do not become transparent in any kind of way, you have this situation where there's no check engine light at all and the motor just is gone. And you are devastated because you didn't see it coming. So, I mean, I get that the team did the right thing. They picked up the hot girl walking down the street and they're off to take her for a week's vacation on Ohio Speed Week. But man, I feel bad for Hunter. I really do. To be led on, misled, in a relationship that with this car that he thought was solid, and for them to just drop it like it doesn't even matter, and maybe like it does. They're probably saying, "Oh, sorry, it just isn't gonna work," or whatever. Sorry, we just felt like this was the best move for us. It's hard because Hunter Schuerenberg has developed a brand and a name and a relatable identity with this 55. When people see the 55, they think Hunter Schuerenberg. That part of it sucks a lot because now it's Bubby Kofoid. That's not going to make a lot of sense for people. The identity is going to be mistaken, which is very important when it comes to selling merchandise and things like that, is having a driver's name with a car. It's hard to sell something when drivers are bouncing numbers around and just jumping on anyone who gives them an opportunity. It's hard to do that. So this is a very sad relationship that has ended with Hunter Schuerenberg. He obviously got screwed in it pretty damn good. And it comes across as being misled and led on and putting his faith and his trust and his belief into another person or an organization that showed a lot that they were there for him. But in this pretty much dire situation of losing things in a fire and stocking up and preparing to rebuild this situation, this devastation that he personally suffered, the people he trusted and believed in dropped him. I don't know, man. Makes sense. That's great. I don't know. I see the racing world a little bit different than some of you people. Kind of like how I joke all the time and say Larson and the sugar daddy, goes to NASCAR because that's where the money's at, and then really loves sprint cars and comes and does it on the side. Married to the sugar daddy, affair with the sprint car. But when monetary things get involved, this is what happens. When the society is raised money over everything, success over everything, winning over everything else, nothing else matters but winning, loyalty takes a back seat. Honesty takes a back seat. Transparency takes a back seat. Devotion takes a back seat. And hell, they could sweep all week of Ohio Speed Week in itself. And I honestly just feel like it's not going to be as important as this relationship between that 55 and Hunter Schuerenberg was. It's just being short-sighted in a way. Just being short-sighted. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got to say about this whole situation. It's a very interesting scenario. Oh, by the way, if you are going to the Houston High Banks, we have an event that we were invited to, and it's going to be pretty fun up in Houston. It's called the Prelude to the High Banks. Apparently, the Houston racers up there, they do like a weekly thing around the Sioux Falls area. They go to a go-kart track. It's a really cool place. It's not just a go-kart track. They got bowling. They got go-karts. They got slick track go-karts, which is where we're going to be at. Mini golf, arcade. It's a really cool place. I think you pay for an armband and you ride as many rides and do all the stuff that you want to do. But it is Prelude to the High Banks at Thunder Road, the Chaz versus Houston. It's going to be pretty fun. My birthday's actually the 21st. It'll be interesting. And then, of course, we'll be at the track all week long at the Houston High Banks Nationals, $250,000. It's going to be on the line. It's going to be very interesting. But the Prelude at Thunder Road. So if you are in the area, go ahead and plan to be there. The actual racing starts at 9, but I'm going to be there probably a little earlier than that at 7 o'clock at Houston's next week. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment below. I just see that there's a lot of relationships in the racing world, and these types of examples of a relationship are what I think causes a lot of issues in relationships between car owners and drivers, and there's a real relationship there. And a lot of drivers saw what happened here with Hunter and I guarantee a few of them are stepping back. Like I said, somebody literally tried to tell me yesterday that Bubby Kofoid should take over David Gravel's seat. Why? That makes no sense to me. But for some reason, this Bubby Kofoid is the hottest girl walking down the road. And I mean, I get it. He's successful, but he's not David Gravel. Hunter Schuerenberg, okay, I get it. But still, how they handled it, there's different ways of doing it. You don't have to lead these people on to the point they're spending that amount of money to try to recoup a devastating situation that you just witnessed them go through. You're supposed to have your drivers back, man. That loyalty, trustworthy, all this stuff. Like I said, I think it just all takes a back seat when all you're concerned about is winning. And at the end of the day, buddy, if all you're caring about is winning, you got some other issues that you're gonna find out eventually might come back to bite you. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you next time. This is how we ride. This is how we do.